Hello there guys, it's Joey and this is a new requested spell set for the store. This is Wolf Witch of Morrigan spell set. The request was initially for a shapeshifter energy, and additionally there is going to be a new votive that was requested that's just setting at the minute, and I'm going to do a separate video because it's a different energy and things, so I haven't forgotten the new votive, that's just going to be a separate video. So the original request, as I said, was for shapeshifting, and I was going back and forth with this because I was like, I knew what I wanted to do and I thought I better just check, and I just sort of checked that wolf energy was okay. So when I describe the goddess Morrigan, if I'm forced to choose one energy, I choose shapeshifter. And this may or may not come as a surprise to people. People who have listened to me ramble on, probably not. But some people would be like, oh no, she's a war goddess, oh no, she's a death goddess, mirror, mirror. And I don't think so. I think that above all else, shapeshifter is the energy that I would ascribe to her if we are working with indefinite definitions, which we never should with the goddess Morrigan. She defies stereotype and defies rigid structures and being told what she is or is not. Within her mythos, she shapeshifts into many different animals, and because of this, the energy of going with a shapeshifter overarching theme was a little bit too vague. There isn't a way of humanly comprehending the shapeshifter between space energies, because you'd have to incorporate all the different animals that she shifts into, or go with a like a magician themed energy and just try and make it less complicated that way. But I had this feeling about wolf energy. Wolf energy is one of the energies surrounding the goddess Morrigan, and the request was also that the sovereignty aspect of the goddess Morrigan was brought into it. And when we're looking at sovereignty with the goddess Morrigan, that gives us a couple of choices. Cow would probably be the truest energy of sovereignty if we were going just for pure sovereignty, but I wanted it more to be more of a shapeshifter vibe, and so we went with wolf, because wolf is given a choice of being part of the pack, the alpha of the pack, the pack animal, or being a lone wolf. A choice at a soul level to shapeshift into the true self, choices of soul that determine the journey of life. And that is the overarching theme of this particular set, so I'm going to repeat it. A choice at soul level to shapeshift into the true self, choices of soul that determine the journey of life. Wolf energy has a strong guidance and teacher energy to it as well, especially helpful for those that are embracing shapeshifter energies for the first time, that are celebrating the goddess Morrigan in her aspects newly and tapping into that energy for the first time. And even for those of us that have been walking alongside the goddess for some time, it's perpetually a journey, and so I just have images of being led by wolves and walking alongside wolves, to learning, to knowledge, to a higher wisdom. And throughout this particular set there's also an energy of wolves by night, so it brings in a starlight energy, being guided by the heavens, being guided by the stars, looking up at the universe and being connected to deity. I think for a lot of us, in a witch-based, spiritual-based, pagan-based, however you wish to ascribe yourself, path, there is a deep love of the nighttime, and I've said before that looking up at the night sky, it made me feel like I wasn't so alone, because there were always people looking back at those stars, and those stars have guided travellers throughout journeys much longer than modern technology. So it has this wonderful guidance element to it. There's also an element of protection here because of wolf energy and wolves by night, a sort of stealth and the deep mysteries and in the middle of the night, and wolves by night, and an energy of being protected by the pack, if that is your choice, or being away from danger and harm by being the lone wolf, if that is your choice, and connecting with one's environment. It's almost woodsy again. I may be influenced by woods right now. But also there is a strong interlink with wolves, women and witches, and there's this energy that, you know, that women and wolves can't really be tamed, and neither ever loses its wildness, and reclaiming that wildness within oneself, that wild wolf energy. And women are frequently quite protective and nurturing and teachers, and that energy comes alongside wolf totem energy in particular. Wolves are very dear to my heart. I love wolf energy, and it just made the most sense for shapeshifting. It just is in popular consciousness. If you asked, you know, someone to name a animal that you could shift into, I imagine werewolf and wolf are going to be right up there, if not the most answered. In fact, they probably would be the most answered, and they're just majestic and powerful and clever and graceful, and all elements that I imagine with the goddess Morrigan, and it's just giving me shivers just thinking about it. So I think we're on the right track. So the goddess Morrigan does also shapeshift into a wolf. I should point that out. It's part of the cuckoo myth. Let me see if I can just get a quote for you. Long ago she came as an animal, a wolf, a vulture or a jackal. And it's part of the Cuckoo myth, though, that she transforms into a wolf. Let me find the myth. I want the myth. In the Ulster cycle. Just as a point of reference. I can't find the myth offhand. I should have had it to hand. That was a bit silly of me, but regardless, it's one of the creatures that Morrigan shifts into, and is possibly one of the most ignored. I think eel is probably even more ignored, and that's why I have a whole video on it. But I think it's probably a close second to eel energy and how ignored wolves are, and she chooses her pack very much so. The goddess Morrigan chooses her sons and daughters, and she chooses to work with people short term and things, but people who are chosen by her, it's her pack and she has the last word, and she's the alpha. So I got shivers then. I think she approved of that. Okay, so the items in question that are in shot were all requested, and I'm in love with each and every one of them, and I want one of each of every one of these, so I take that as a good sign, hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll start with the pillar. You have to excuse me if you can hear my stomach rumbling. Right, so this is the pillar, and the pillar is meant to be the wolf eye in the night. I felt like breaking out into Rocky Horror then. In the night, creatures of the night. Sidestepping, right, okay, so we've gone with the black for the night theme. So we talked about the fact that wolves in the night time is something going through, and I have a very strong visual of wolves moving through woodlands, moving through forests, moving through trees with the goddess Morrigan, running, hunting, wild by night, stars overhead, this very deep mysticism, this deep connection. And shape-shifting and nighttime energies give unto one another, because there is an element of at night we shift into the creatures of our dreams, and Morrigan often contacts people through dreams, and so the images are always shifting, and it lends itself to shapeshifter imagery, it lends itself to a deeper subconscious connection to the goddess. And I really felt that nighttime was the power time of the shapeshifter energy. Easier to meld into the darkness, easier for wolves to hunt, and so on and so forth. So there you go. You have a combination of colour on the top here to give that effect of a wolf eye being reflected at night. I really like it. I really like the idea and the notion. Okay. So that's the pillar. What shall we do next? Let's do the oil next. So the oil is also a bit of a shapeshifter. I'm going to zoom in so hopefully you can see the charm. Oh good, you can see the charm. Isn't that pretty? The wolf is howling, and I went out of my way to get howling wolves because that's the call, like the Morrigan's call, the call of the wolves, howling by night, that deep spirituality that if you're anything like me, the minute you hear wolves howling, you turn into Dracula. Do you hear the music? Because it's just so soul-wrenchingly beautiful to listen to wolf speak, basically. Right, so the oil is a shapeshifter within itself. It has a static image, if you like, a static visual aesthetic, stood still. And if you, there you go. Frequently with the oils, they don't necessarily have a static look, and you have to get the movement in to get the visual of the oil. However, this is a shapeshifter oil, so it has to have one and then two. So it has to be static and then in flux. So takes a moment to be in flux. 1 second. It's very woodland by night. So that's the oil. I don't want to give it. I don't want to shake it too hard. I don't. Oh, so pretty. This is, I think, possibly one of the first requested smudges in terms of. Sometimes I've decided to do a smudge for certain reasons when people have given me leeway, but this is the first time a smudge was requested. This is going on the store afterwards because this is amazing. If I do say so myself, it's too late, I already did. So, Wolf Witch Smudge is a little bit of a woodland grove in a tin. Oh, it's woodsy, earthy. It conjures up the image that I wanted, the meditational image that I wanted of wolves stalking through the forest trees, of Morrigan running through the trees, all like with her black markings, so she's like merging in and out of the trees, and the wolves are running with her and merging in and out of the trees, and that hunt, that lust for blood, lust for knowledge, lust for the deeper mysteries, and oh, it's so good. I really, really like it. The smudges, of course, have to be tweaked. They take slightly longer because it's all about scent. It's not, say, like the herbal blessing salts, which can be used in water, and so, you know, the burn scent doesn't have to be perfect. Certain herbs and combinations of essential oils and things smell fine on the surface, but when you burn them, they do not smell good. I avoid rose petals in smudges for this very reason. An overabundance of rose petals, for example, in smudges doesn't smell nice burnt at all, and for that reason the smudges take slightly longer, so it has to be tweaked. Everything has to be about scent, it has to be about creating a temple. So in this case, the scent for the creation of a temple, which is what the smudges are about, is very much creating that forest temple. It's about creating that space with the goddess Morrigan, with that wolf energy, with sitting and connecting to her energy as a shapeshifter. Right, let's just move that out of shot. Right, we'll do the orb, and then we'll do the spell cauldron. My best with these spell orbs. It's been so reflective in here. Okay, so this is a spell orb. The spell orb has the same howling wolf, and I let it hang a little bit so it's like the wolf is amidst the forest within. And I actually went with the darker grey, dark grey silver ribbon. I considered going with the black to reflect the night sky, but I really wanted the sort of wolf fur by starlight, basically, is why I went with this particular ribbon. And I think it fits better. I was looking at both, and then as you can see here, we have that forest. Spell charm within, of course. So there you go. I'm going to move that off now because it drives me crazy how reflective they are. And last but certainly not least is the spell cauldron. Again, you've got your wolf howling. You've got the grey and the black, so the grey became a theme. The wolf fur by starlight became a theme. I liked having grey within this colour palette for that reason, for grey wolves, and also because it strikes a balance between white and black and light and dark, and it shifts between because it is a between colour, it's a veil colour, it's the combination of all things which Shapeshifter lends itself to. And again, you have an element of sovereignty going throughout, of course, a little bit of regality, and very much based in that wild forest mystery, the wild woman running with the wolves, connecting with Morrigan, shifting, learning, and so on. I'm just look at those next to each other, and they're pretty. This is going to be regular, all of this, because I freaking adore it. I'm not going to put the orb back in shot for now, but I really hope you like it. It was a huge undertaking, this actually. I had to be in the right mind, and there is a magpie on the roof. You see him? Mama might be listening. Well, there you go. It didn't take them long to find me. He's watching me right now. Well, there you go. So sorry about that. Slight interlude with a magpie. He's quite funny. He's jumping up and down on the roof. Completely distracted me. So this is the this is the Wolf Witch of Morrigan spell set. I hope you like it, and many blessings.